I just want to welcome everybody here. I know it takes a lot of effort and time and courage to actually come to a place where you're not really sure what you're going to receive. Everything that we're going to do this weekend hopefully has relevance to community and family engagement.
Are we going to have that continuity? It ain't going to be there because it's just going to go back to that policy thing again.
A lot of people say that they believe in it and that they support it, but what are the actions behind it?
Is anybody really listening? Does anybody really care? Where are we going with this? What support are we finding, if any? Who's going to help us out?
You have to know yourself as a community, so your school needs to be whole.
Share your crossroads with your staff, but most importantly, share it with your community.
I decided to come to this because I consider family engagement to be a weakness of mine, but I feel like it's vital. And I was saying I know we have to start thinking outside the box, but I don't even know what the box is.
Actually, on the first night, I found that there was many people that face the same trials and barriers that I face every day at my job. So I felt less alone.
One of the common things that the upper people, the administration, they think that by communicating with our Toledo Tribal Board of Directors, the only stakeholders they're talking to. And for me, I think that they need to be engaging actual community members that have children in the school.
It's been interesting just to listen to a lot of the support specialists and their work, and how there's just a different way of thinking and a different way of doing business than what you live when you do the administrative piece. So it's very exciting and welcoming.
Trying to bridge the cultural gaps and making sure that I'm forging personal relationships with parents is a real challenge for me. So I'm getting lots of ideas here on what I can do to make my classroom feel warm and inviting for all parents.
It's really nice to meet others that they're facing some of the same challenges as we are.
One thing I liked about the night walk is that we all kind of briefly met each other, and then we decided, okay, we have to do this thing together. We're relying not only just on our guide, but on each other to be able to go through this process. What was nice is that we did get to see things at a different perspective.
We walked into the woods in the dark, and we were forced to use all our senses besides our eyesight. And it was a really awesome experience because basically made me feel that, you know, there's times when you can't just be focused on one little thing. You gotta be able to see and sense everything around you.
Even though I got lost, I thought it was really a cool experience for me. When my favorite part of it was when the guide gave us a rock, and we had to fill the rock and try to remember if it was ours, even though we couldn't see it.
What I want you to think about today is, what do you do with the data that someone else generates about you? And a lot of times, that's the data that folks use in the media to tell the story about our school also, right?
The community that we grew up in, for all of us, was very different from the community that we now find ourselves in with our school.
Today when we were looking at data, we looked at our data for the Washington Middle School, and then we took the data from the Hawthorne Elementary and we compared the data, and it's amazing the similarities there. And so then when we started talking, some of the things that they've implemented are things that we've been looking at, and we just didn't know how to get the ball rolling.
Because we're a school that's an improvement, there's so much paperwork, there's so much testing, that they really want to do good things with kids. They want to do innovative things with kids, but everything is so regimented.
The treehouse activity was great.
We were taken for a walk, and we were taken to this place that we have never seen before. We were told that, you know, take your time and look at your surroundings. You know, pay attention to what's going on around you. One of the things that I noticed is that when you do that and you really pay attention to detail, there's some things that you really make, you know, connections to. We went inside this tree house, and we were told, you know, what did you notice?
Try to see what sort of things are interesting to you about this feather.
That's really interesting.
I need to start paying close attention to my surroundings. I need to start looking at, you know, the agencies that are impacting my forest, my environment, our school environment, my kids' environment.
Beautiful environment, beautiful setting, and an opportunity to really
take a lot of our background knowledge and apply it to something that we've never applied it to before.
I'm learning a lot from the other participants, and it gives me another layer of information.
We have to stop thinking of this as just, events and activities, and think beyond that. And just hearing the perspective of these different individuals who are participating, it's opening up my understanding of community, of how to build that relationship with the community.
Because it's basically data-driven, we have to spend a lot of time doing paperwork, documenting what we do with those families, so it really limits our ability to communicate and develop relationships in the community. Although we have maintained and developed them over the years past.
You can look at all the scores and say that my school's failing, but when I see 300 people there eating food, or when I see kids hugging their teachers goodbye, then I think it's really hard to say that we're not doing anything right.
I think getting more Native American parents into our school, even though we need to go out to engage them, I think when you see more parents in, that means that we're doing something. It's a slow process, and I think that the parents feel more connected.
All of the educators that we've been talking with, we're all in the same spot where we want to do good things, we want to go out, we want to bring the community in, but we're just kind of running in quicksand about how to get it started.
Some folks have been doing this longer than others, and they've already tried things and that didn't work, and so they're bringing to the table those things that really have a commonality of success around how do we connect with parents.
We try to get fathers to come in and spend a full day, but really if they can only come and spend a couple hours, we'd like them to come and spend that couple hours with us.
We're getting some really good ideas, sharing with each other little things that are working, and we're kind of piecing things together.
The process of relationships, it's a process, and so it's going to take time.
If you really want to move forward, you need to really get the community on board.
They may say anything they want with the data. They may say that we are a failing school, but we're not. We're a school on the rise. And what's nice is that the kids feel that, the staff feels that, the parents feel that.
I was told you don't want to work there. That's the worst school in Seattle. And that just gave me incentive. That's where I want to work. And I think we have made so many gains in turning around the reputation and how it's viewed. We have increased test scores, but more than that, just trying to get the community more involved so that they feel that they can be part of the solution as well.
A really engaged and collaborative staff is engaging kids, not only academically, but socially and emotionally.
There is a waiting list for kids to come and be a part of our great new program, and we're really, really proud of all the accomplishments.
I loved hearing the many different ideas. I took lots of notes of all the different things that we can bring back to our school district.
I feel like I've gotten energized and gotten some good ideas and made some good connections with some people.
When you walk through the doors of Hawthorne, it is a positive place. There's happy faces, there's happy teachers, there's happy kids, there's happy administrators. I mean, there's a thriving, positive, vibrant energy there, and a community that's coming together.
There's a lot of good ideas out there that can work.
To communicate with those families and to start that conversation about education, what that means at home, and what that means at school, so that communication can be bridged.
Listening to the community, really being open to the assets and the strengths of community members, and really hearing them, regardless of your background. I think anyone could engage with community members if they go in with open ears and compassion.
The fires are burning, the roof is collapsing, it's justice inside. Our spirits born in disaster, now we're marching home.